Upcoming, you're going to see a great little video of my sweet little family. But if you're anywhere near the Richmond, Virginia area, we'll be over toward the coast at Cobbs Creek, Virginia. We'll have a great time at Covenant Fellowship Church. We'll be there Sunday morning, Sunday night, and then Wednesday morning, Wednesday night. Come if you're anywhere close to there. We'll have a great time. We'll get into end times. We'll get into the power of God. Sure look forward to seeing you. Now, check out the video that's coming with my sweet little family. This week's today's update coming to you from Orlando, Florida with my beautiful little grandkids here. This is my wife, Colleen. This is Jude. This is Ella. And Lauren Brittany's doing the shooting. Dave's coming in a little bit. We're coming to you every week to show you the different things that point to the coming of the Lord. Isn't it cool to be living just before the return of the Lord? The kids get to see Jesus so soon, face to face. Man, everything's pointing to and looking toward what's going to happen just after the rapture of the church. So we're looking at things that happen after that because the rapture of the church is signless, but the second coming has tons of signs. And man, so much stuff happened around Israel this week, Jude, that points to Jesus coming back. So the rapture is different than the second coming. At the rapture, we go up to see Jesus in the air.
Dirty.
You're dirty? Yeah, that's okay. And at the second coming, we bodily come back with Jesus. So let's pick up with what's happening around Israel, and we can tell what's going on because we know that Jesus is about to come back. You ready? There you go. There you go. Thank you, Jude. You were such a blessing. Yeah. Thank you, girl.
Good job.
Thank you. You did good. See, what's happening around Israel right now, this last week, you even had one of Iran's nuclear sites. One of the nuclear sites got completely hit again, just outside of Tehran. Remember last week, one of the buildings got blown up. Well, another building got blown up this last week. And Iran said, well, nothing happened to it, but Israeli intelligence showed a satellite photo of the complete building having a massive hole in it. So you've got Iran doing the usual what they're doing. And this last week, Iran did 2 different shots into the U.S. troops in Iraq in one 12-hour period, which is kind of emboldening them to do more. So I'm sure there'll be a retaliation pretty soon from America. So in the midst of that, you've got Hezbollah in Lebanon. Lebanon's at the point of literal bankruptcy right now. So you've got France's Macron moving in to try to do the peace deal with Iran and literally trying to shoulder up Lebanon because Israel even reached out to Lebanon and said, hey, can we help you? Because their money's gone completely to zero. And it looks really bad from there. So it is interesting to see France come on the scene to go, hey, we're going to prop up Lebanon as well. There was a lot of talk this week about the Temple Mount and how the temple will be rebuilt with Lebanon coming in to help. So I thought that was just absolutely bizarre. So to the rabbis, that means completely something different than it does to us. So in the midst of that, you have China putting out propaganda, a 3-stage report how they're going to invade Taiwan. You've got Russia literally talking about their waters off the coast of Crimea, saying if any ships go in there, they're going to retaliate. Remember, they kind of worked toward messing with one of the ships from England. So you got Russia doing what they're normally doing. You got China trying to do that. You got Iran. And then now you got Hamas, again, firing incendiary balloons into southern Israel. With that, you had Israel retaliate, hitting out those rocket sites in Gaza. So it is so bizarre. You would think the Palestinians in Gaza would have built some hotels on the water, but all they do is try to build rockets to try to attack Israel. The United States had a joint kind of a joint exercise with Israel in New Mexico showing this brand new laser technology, how they can shoot down drones. The only thing about the laser is you have clouds that get in the way, sometimes smoke gets in the way, but they have a brand new microwave technology that they tested in New Mexico that will take out swarms of drones with one shot. Within a half a second, the drones are gone. So Israel's having to do that because the drones are coming in even closer. Just like what Iran did to America this week in Iraq was through drone warfare. So a lot of things are changing the way things are going, but man, it all points to the coming of the Lord. So many more things are happening. You got volcanic eruptions. You got solar flares on 4th of July. The sun had a little light show for us here on the earth. So many things pointing to the coming of the Lord. Earthquakes as well. You got a hurricane of course, in Florida when we're in Florida. It seems like there's always a hurricane here when we visit our daughter. But all the things along with what's happening around Israel, then you got natural things. But we always go back to the Scripture. What's the Scripture say? Number 1, Israel made a nation, Jerusalem being won back. Jesus said the generation that sees those 2 events will not pass away till all is fulfilled. Then you got the Hebrew language restored. You got the Ethiopian Jews brought back. You got the fertility of the land of Israel. You got the revival of the Roman Empire. You have the literal land that's completely blessed. the fertility of the land of Israel. You have the Temple Mount Institute ready to start having sacrifices. That's remarkable. But then you got foxes on the Temple Mount. You got fish showing up in the Dead Sea. You got the ritual baths around the Temple Mount filled up with water. Pretty remarkable. You have 172 different species of predatory birds that started showing up on the land. That's absolutely amazing. You have the cleanup crew there already in Israel. So then after that, there's many more signs. There's about 60, but you've got a few of these now you can see. But then you go to signals. You had blood red moons on Passover and Tabernacles. Remarkable to have 4 in a row. NASA calls that a tetrad. When's the last time you had 4 blood red moons in a row like that? 1967 when Jerusalem was won back, 1948 when Israel was made a nation, and 1492 at the Edict of Expulsion when the Jews were kicked out of Spain. So amazing. The heavens are indicating and signaling to us things that coincide with remarkable things happening to the nation of Israel. Then you have the Bethlehem Star this last year, first time in 2,000 years. You have Jupiter, Regulus, and Venus came together. Pretty amazing. At the birth of Jesus, the constellation was Virgo. This last year, the constellation was Leo because he's the Lion of the tribe of Judah. So you've got signs, you've got signals, you have all of this that points to the coming of the Lord. So what do? It's a hustle mentality. It's not escape theology. It's you see the finish line, you run faster. I've never seen a runner when they see the finish line chill. No, all that training is for right there. So we're about to see the King. So why do we get into all of this every single week? Because He loves you. He wants you encouraged. He wants you strengthened. He wants you happy. Could you imagine if you saw Colleen? Could you imagine the day we got married if she's walking down the aisle all bummed out going, oh my God, I'm marrying that guy? No, that wouldn't be cool. The Lord wants us aware and awakened, happy, hopeful, comforted, and strengthened because we're about to see the King. We have a lot to do in a short period of time. We're about to see Jesus face to face. Hey, thanks for watching this week. We'll come back next Wednesday. We'll have a great time. Look forward to seeing you next week. Bless you.
Thanks for joining us today at the End of Days Update. If you'd like to be notified every time there's a new post, just go to the edu at josephmorris.com and subscribe to receive email alerts. If these posts and updates have been a blessing to you, please consider making a one-time donation to help get the message out or even becoming a monthly partner with Joseph Morris Ministries. Thanks again for tuning in to the EDU, and we'll see you next week.